Hello, everyone. Good evening, good day from wherever you are in this part of the world. Good evening, everyone. Please kindly confirm if you can hear me.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, good day, good evening.
From
Oh,
wherever
my
you are in this
namesake. Good
part of the
evening.
world.
Good evening, everyone. Please kindly confirm if you can hear me. Hey. Please. Okay. Thank you for the thumbs up. Great, great, great. Okay. So welcome to today's session. I am Blessing Afolabi, and I'll be your host for today's session on Write Your Way to the Top, an exclusive interview session with Dr. Nicholas Aderinto. I'm glad to let you all know that our facilitator is here with us today. But just before we jump right in, let's get to know one another. So I would like to hear from at least 5 people. Let me know your name, where you're joining us from, and what you're looking forward to in today's session. Okay. I'd like to have at least 5 persons. Just unmute yourself or put it in the chat room. Your name, where you're joining us from, and what you're looking forward to in today's session. Okay, let's keep it coming. Who wants to go first, or should I start calling names? If where you are is noisy, you can just drop it in the chat room. Anyone? Who should I call? Just give us a brief introduction of yourself, your name, and where you're joining us from. Let's just get to know you. Okay. Anyone? I'll call on names randomly. I'll just pick anyone in the chat room. Okay. Can I hear from Miss Blessing Mofeolua? Can you kindly unmute yourself and just let us hear your name and where you're joining us from? Okay, thank you. I just got one in the chat room, Mr. Charles Osuji, a postgraduate student from Abuja. Thank you so much. Welcome to this session. Okay, let's keep it coming. Who else wants to go? Who else wants to go? I can see Blessing, Deborah, Grace, Taiwo, and many others in the chat room. So do you want to unmute, or you can just put your details in the chat room? Okay. Dr. Adeshokwe from the Oyo State Ministry of Health, Ibadan. Thank you so much. Welcome to this session. We're glad to have you here with us. Okay, I can see Blessing Mufeoluwa, a LAUTECH graduate from Ogbomoso. That's awesome. I'm sure we have more LAUTECH graduates in this place. Interestingly, as we go ahead to hear from Dr. Nicholas, we also realize the LAUTECH graduates. Okay, so we have Dr. Upong from UCH Ibadan. Thank you so much. Okay, we also have Victor Bolanle, a LAUTECH graduate from the Department of Human Physiology. Awesome. Like I said, I'm sure we have more LAUTECH people. And as we will soon come to find, as we dive into this session, we will learn about our facilitator as well. All right, so why we have that coming in so that we don't waste time. Today's session is an exclusive interview with Dr. Nicholas Aderinto, who is an associate editor and also a doctor by profession. Is an associate editor with Public Library of Science. Dr. Nicholas, good evening. So good to see you once again. I remember the last time we had you on Great Coast Africa. Yeah, the last time we had you on Great Coast Africa, it was for our first research and publication masterclass. And it's so good that we'll still be seeing you again in the advanced masterclass coming up in May. So, I mean, for our participants to get to talk to you, to hear from you, hear your story in this session, I'm so sure it's going to be an inspiring one. And that was why we felt we needed to have this. With all the advancement, the progress you've made, I'm so sure people would have questions about how is it doing it and all of that. So it's so good to be doing this with you. Welcome, Dr. Nicholas.
Thank you, Blessing.
Okay. All right. So without further ado, so we just go right into the session. So like we said, this is a live interview with Dr. Nicholas Aderinto. And so as we progress, you will also have your chance to ask Dr. Nicholas your questions. But I already have some questions here, so we'll start with that. So please, like we sent in our emails, please kindly get your notepad, be ready to jot things, because this is definitely going to be an inspiring session. I mean, because Dr. Nicholas, like we always say, humble beginnings. You know that kind of statement. Humble beginnings. All right. So it's going, you're going to see so much and you'll be like, wow. Because I mean, people that come from underserved communities, most times it looks like there's no space for them in the global community. So it's going to be an inspiring session. It's going to be a transformative session. So wherever you are, please kindly pay attention and just get your notepad. If you have questions, you can note them down and just pay attention as we go through the session, as we hear about how Dr. Nicholas has been able to use research writing and publication to advance his personal journey, his academic journey, as well as his professional journey. All right. So the first question I have for Dr. Nicholas is, I know I've said a few things about you, but just so that we can hear from you yourself. So can you just tell us a bit about yourself and how your journey into research and publication, how it started? Yeah, so we start with that one.
Okay, thank you, Blessing. And it's nice to see everyone again. And good evening, everybody. I think I'm part of Great Plus, sort of, because I had a brief stint at Innovate Lab back in. I think that was when I was in final year. Yeah, I worked at Innovate Lab a bit. So yeah, so I'm Nicholas. I think you said most thing about me. I'm a medical
No.
doctor.
That was just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, you need to go in depth. We want to know your journey, your story.
Yeah. So I'm a medical doctor, and currently I work as editor. I work in other roles too, research fellows and things like that. And I graduated from Lauderdale University of Technology, 2022. You know, we had ASU strike and all of that, so that prolonged our stay in school. So yeah, research. I think personally for me, I've always been a curious person. right from, I would say, from secondary school, I've always asked a lot of questions. Growing up, I asked my parents, why did God create me? Questions like that. That asked him to create me. Like, why am I? Like,
Wow.
why do you want me to be here? Why is the sky blue? I wanted to know, why is the sky blue? And some questions like that. How does the television work? So I've always been at the forefront of asking questions. Even though because of where I grew up, asking questions was unconventional. So it sort of dampened some of that a bit because I was going on the traditional way. So, but in terms of scientific research, really, I think it got started in second year in medical school. I would say, yeah, that was 2015. In medical school, that was when I started reading scientific journals myself. And it was all in a bit to get to know more about what we're being taught in class and see that we're reading a lot of research papers then out of curiosity. And I started taking self-learning courses, YouTube and things like that. LAUTECH is not LAUTECH. Well, I don't know what the community is like now currently in LAUTECH, but then we weren't doing a lot of professional self-development stuff in school. I think LAUTECH was known more for, on the one side, the spirituality, there were prayers, there were fellowships. On the other side, I think we had these Yahoo Yahoo people too doing their stuff. So that was what the school was known for. So it wasn't like, I didn't grow up in a school like, say, Lagos, UCH, or Ibadan, where people were doing things like that. So it was quite difficult, wrapping my head around it, seeing some, and then life was not so interconnected like we are now.
Mm.
You can easily message someone on LinkedIn, Twitter, and all of that. So it was more of like a personal thing and a journey of I was just trying to do things on my own, self-learn and things like that. Then by second year in medical school, when I started to, it coincided when we started our first journal club in Lautech Medical Student Journal Club. So that also at least helped a bit. Well, I would say starting was quite rough. It was more of a self learning something that I did. So that was how the journey progressed. And with progressions like that, I met some people along the way that really helped too.
Wow. Wow. That's quite relatable. I mean, like seeing like especially in this part of the world in Africa, asking questions is something your parents will tell you, keep quiet, don't ask. Because everybody just flow with it and don't think about it. So I think like getting started
Yeah,
really does have to start with asking questions. All right, so moving on to the next thing.
yeah.
Now, I understand that you have several publications, like over 300, if I'm right, over 300, and your citations just went over the
I
roof
don't.
recently. Oh no, you keep count. I see it. So, I mean, anybody that checks ResearchGate will see the number of publications you have. So that's actually a
Yeah,
massive one. And again, following your profile, seeing the people that you have to interact with, like the opportunities or the access that you have, that's actually that's quite noteworthy. So I would like to ask now that how has research and publication, like how has it transformed your journey? I mean, starting from your personal growth, your academic growth, like you can let us know how you were able to get access to certain fellowship, get access to certain club, get access to like those kind of community. Because sometimes that's what people are actually looking out for. So if you can just let us know how research and
yeah.
publication, how that's like impacted that part of your journey. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think sincerely, I would say one thing that I'm quite happy that I did was to engage in research because that's been like the key that it has opened a lot of doors for me, and I will not want to lie about that sincerely. So I would say that there is nothing you are doing, especially in my field as a medical doctor, whether you are practicing, whether you are a PhD student and all of that, there is nowhere you go that everybody is not embracing research. Even when even you're in the corporate world, people want
Yeah.
data, they're analyzing data to project. GTB Bank do research, everybody needs data to analyze, to project. The research skills are skills that they are relatable everywhere I go, much more in medicine. So it becomes a sort of, you already have the foundational or the middle career experience of what we need. Every other thing you can learn on the go. But they are not trying to, to teach me how to do research, how to write, and things like that. So it does that. And I would say for like forever, I think research is something that is going to be relevant. You can do research and feel like it was a waste of time. It's not. In fact, I used to tell my colleagues that whether you want to be a full-time researcher like me or you just want to do it part-time, you just need this. You can climb academic career, even professional career without doing research. So
Yeah.
I think what has always been is asking how were you able to do this quite early in your career? I think that has always been like the what attracts people. When I meet professors, talk to professors and things like that, especially coming from Africa, is impressed with the fact that you are coming from this kind of environment. You've been able to challenge yourself to get to this level. You are welcome. We are going to, take you to where you want to be to. So it's always been like, yeah, it has always been like that. So I would say that the key thing that research skills are relatable everywhere you go, every field you want to be, whether you want to be in corporate world. I can work. I believe that I can easily work in any role with this research skill because it's just maybe I'm going to just have to learn little other things. So I'm not coming blank. So that's what has made all of this to welcome me. And then people want to know how are you able to do this at a young age, because everybody wants someone young that's at least done something. I don't consider that I've achieved a lot. I've not achieved a lot.
You've achieved a lot.
Certainly, I've not achieved a lot. People are doing great things out there, but really, they believe that young person, you've done this. If you have the right environment, the right assets, you can do more. So that has always been what so I always tell people that even if you are not going to be a full-blown researcher like me, I think getting the basic skill, there's nowhere you take the basic skill of research that they are going to push you back.
Mhm. Okay, so from what you've said right now, even if you're not in the science field, research skills is something that you just need to have it. And by
Yeah,
having it, like you are positioning yourself to be like more of a valuable person in
yeah.
whatever field or um whatever field that you are in. Great, awesome. Okay, I was actually going to think that you were going to share some of the opportunities, some of the fellowship that you've been able to enter into. Don't worry, you're
Uh,
not blowing your trumpet. I mean, you've earned it, so you can talk about it.
I think, well, well, I think I'm quite I don't know. I don't like to talk too much. In fact, my social media stuff is just because these days I've been encouraged to post more. But what I would say is there, there's, in fact, I didn't know I was doing quite a lot until I didn't know that what I was doing was so impressive, really, to me personally. I didn't believe that what I was doing until I think 2023, 2024, 2025, when I started interacting with people. That was when, I started seeing that, oh, probably what I was doing was quite something good too. But what I would say is, for every application I've submitted for graduate school, research fellowship, conferences, this and this, the research achievement have really, really helped to stand me out. And for everybody that, interviews have gone, they always want to know how are you able to achieve this quite early in your career, despite that you are coming from Africa. So that's what I can say. I only want to go to a lot of details, but I think I've done I've been opportunity to have some level of opportunities and to gain some level of access, and it has always been because of this research stuff. So, and I always that's what I tell my younger ones in medical school or in school generally, that if you can develop this kind. In fact, I wish I had known some of these things much earlier, maybe in medical school. Maybe I would have started earlier. Yeah, because I think it could have helped, and I think that's one of the reasons why I don't have regret for the longer time we stayed in school, because some of the strike years also, they really these were times that I really engaged in some of these things. But I can tell you, you need these skills to get you to anywhere. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So right now I'm going to be reading some of the opportunities, some of the access, some of your membership that you've been able to like enter into because of your research skills. So that like the people on this course, like some of them might not like
Yeah.
be like might not really know how far you've gone. So I'm going to go ahead and actually say it out so that they're like, okay, even though you're trying
I've
to be
not
like,
gone. I've not gone any
even though
far.
you're not trying to say them out, I will just find I won't say everything. I will just like mention some of it. Okay, so
It's
like part of the access or opportunities that being a research like being a research person, having several publications, part of the opportunities that Dr. Nicholas or access that Dr. Nicholas have been able to enter into. So I'm going to list just a few so that those with us are like those watching this and those who watch the recording, they are aware of how far you've come. Fine, I understand that this is not the peak of it all, but like I said, this is actually something that you've earned it. So there's no need to be there's no need to like hide it. Okay, so first on the list is Dr. Nicholas is a scientific collaborator at the Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation. And as you know, he's the associate editor for Public Library of Science. Now that's a major journal, like if you're aware. So he's also an associate member at the Royal College of Physicians. He's a member at the International Headache Society. He's also a member for in the and Parkinson and Movement Disorder. He's also a clinical research fellow and clinician at the Care Specialist Hospital. Now, moving on to like more membership and more opportunities, he's a member at the Royal College of Physicians in Edinburgh, that's in UK. Is also a member of the European Academy of Neurology. Is also a member of the American Academy of Neurology. I'm actually expecting that there should be like applause and wow, wow, wow going on in the chat room right
there's
now.
no,
I mean,
there's
this is
nothing
so
special.
impressive. Okay, so reading further,
There's nothing.
Dr. Nicholas is also a member in Black in Neuro, that's like a Black African Men of Color Association. He's also a senior editor at the International Youth Neuroscience Association. He's a contributor, or he once worked as a contributor at Youth Voices and several others. So I will just try to like tone it down so that I don't keep reciting and saying it all over and all over. So please kindly like give a round of applause to Dr. Nicholas. I mean, this is
I
so impressive, and it's quite important. Or like the noteworthy thing is that most of these opportunities, this access that you have, actually came as a result of you, like staying in forefront of research, like going ahead to publish and like just being research. And like you've rightly mentioned, research and publication is not just for those in the science field. And I think that's kind of a mistake that people tend to make. People tend to think that, oh, it's those that are in science that should be doing things like this. But I do agree with you that it is actually relevant across all fields. Because if you are even going to be ready position for a promotion, they need to see that, oh,
yeah.
wow, like you've done your study. So now, in lieu of this, seeing how research and publication has helped you so far, so what are the habits or like mindsets that you think anybody who wants to like be a researcher, what kind of mindset, what kind of habits should they like build up? And like this habit should also include the habits that you like incorporated to do research, as well as the habits that you've tried to maintain to be able to gain access to these communities, these high profile places that you're in? Okay.
Okay. So I think let me start from this one. It may look simple, but it's a great habit. You must be in. I believe that you must be in contact with the works of people that inspire you or people that you want to be like. Really. So even in medical school, even though when I was in medical school, like nobody really knew that I was into research like that a lot. But I we had professors in school that I regularly check their works when they publish, even though they may not know, and even though we couldn't walk up to them during those times that we're doing this. So uh, people like Professor Lamoyego, I usually follow his work. Sometimes I just press their name on Google and see what are they publishing. So it becomes some sort of inspiration to you, Professor Akintude, some of my teachers in school. So you must, and then other people internationally too that you feel like they are doing what you are doing. So when you are in contact with their works, it gives you a sense of it pushes you, and you need that a lot because research could be sometimes not going smoothly. So I believe you must always be in contact with the works of people that you want to be like. And then I believe that you need a lot of reading. You need to read a lot. You need to read a lot, especially within the field that you want to be like. For instance, now except for bad days, I don't go a day without checking leading neurology journals because of my bias for neurology. Checking New England Journal of Medicine, JAMA, BMC Neurology. So you want to see what are people publishing, what are people writing. It's important to read because it's from reading from some of those papers that you start seeing gaps in literature, and then it stimulates your mental energy, and from there you are able to come up with topics. Then I also believe that you need to cultivate a level of discipline in terms of writing. 100 words per day, 50 words per day. You need to develop all of these things. Then I believe that there must be something you are learning actively in terms of your self-paced learning in research every day. So you could draft something. I want to know more about literature search, how to do proper literature search. What are the different checklists for different forms of papers? I want to learn about this. How do they conduct a clinical trial? I want to learn about what are the ethical issues on research. I want to learn about these, data analysis. I want to learn about this. So there must be something about research that you are reading about every day, you are learning about every day. Then you must improve your critical thinking skill because you need a lot of that in research. And even at the base level, you must, your grammatical skills too are there because obviously, yes, you need to keep improving all of this. So these are things you do every day. So my routine every day is I stay in contact with the works of people that inspires me, people that I feel like they are doing what I want to do, where I want to be, they are there already. So I'm in contact with their work. What are the organizations that they are members of? Can I join earlier than they did? So if they joined at the level of a professor, is there anything I can do to accelerate joining at this level of mine? Because I believe if they join at being a professor, if I join now, that means I'm going to be able to learn a lot of things that later. Yes. So what are the conferences that they are going? What are the conferences that they are presenting in at that level? Can I also present at those conferences at this level? So you must, that's why you must follow their works. It helps you. What are the things that they are posting that they do daily? What are the kinds of publication they are publishing? So it helps once you are in contact with it helps, it closes a lot of gaps. You start feeling like, oh, okay, so from this they submitted a paper to Congress of Academy of Neurology. Okay, probably I should work towards that next year too. Since someone I look up to is submitting paper, yeah, I should work towards that. So then you must read a lot, read in your feed, read what are people publishing every day, improve your critical thinking skill, have a self-paced learning course. As I am right now, there are things I'm learning for the month of April about research that I feel like I've not known enough. So you must have that. There are YouTube videos, there are a lot of courses out there. So it must be a continuous endeavor to improve. Then surround yourself with like-minded people, because things will not always go well sometimes. So people at the same level of your career, that you are both struggling together, at that level. Yes, you need them to together. So it's every day we talk. Someone is sharing an idea and say, "Oh, I read this today. I saw this in clinic. This is what we were taught in graduate school class. Can we do something on it?" And all of that. So you are, and also you need to join associations. So obviously, you need to join associations. You need to go for meetings. When you join associations, when you go for seminars, you listen to people. You feel like, oh, we are not doing enough in Africa. Yeah, I need to buckle my. So I would say those are the pillars, really. Those are the pillars of things that I do on every day, at least most of the days. Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. I mean, this is actually quite something to like note, especially when you mentioned about the fact that you need to like be like have a picture of somebody that you want to be like, and then that person you keep on following and you keep on learning from that person. You are in the same space that the person is, and you're just like learning as much as you can. Because rightly, like you said, that kind of attitude actually shortens your own journey. So, like when you gave the
Yeah.
example of if the person is a professor and the person achieved this at a professorial level, then the picture of okay, what can I do to like get it shorter? I think this is actually very, very, very like very profound, like you mentioned. And again, when you talked about having trainings, things that you have to learn day by day, like as at last year when we did the first research writing masterclass, it might look like, oh yes, we covered a lot, like, and actually we did cover a lot. But then we figured out that
Yeah.
okay, there is still something new to learn, and that was why we're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
we need to do an advanced training of this same particular topic. And this
Yeah.
time around, we are so glad that we'll be having you on the session again with us. And so, for those that haven't registered, we have an advanced training session that Dr. Nicholas is going to be a facilitator. Um, you will get more details about this advanced training in the community. So I will want to go into that right now. So as Dr. Nicholas rightly mentioned, in case you are aspiring, and I don't think it should be a matter of in case, like you should be aspiring to advance in your field. And even if you're not in the science space, you're in accounting, you're in project management, product development, whatever that you are in, you will see, like as Dr. Nicholas has rightly mentioned, there are people in your field that seem to have gone ahead, and you need to learn what they are learning. Like you need to be in the know. Like I think that's what we use in this time, be in the know. So, like regardless of your field, regardless of your profession, research, writing skills are things that you need to learn. And the habits that Dr. Nicholas has mentioned, like these are habits that, like if you want to be successful in life, these are habits that you actually need to embrace. Like you really need to read, you need to like follow the right people, be in the right organizations, like be in the right associations as well. So like building up on what you've said, so how has mentorship, like as mentorship played a role like in your journey in research and publication? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has. In fact, I think I spent longer time in the wilderness. I would have spent shorter time in the wilderness if I had access to mentors early. But given the
Okay.
yeah, sincerely, it shortens a lot of things in life when you have access to mentors. But starting out, number one, it was unconventional for medical students to be doing research at that time. There was nobody around me that was doing that I looked up to. It wasn't a social media, a global village as at 2015, 2016. Then, so there was nobody to really reach out to. So it was more of try and error with some of my friends, and one of my juniors then too. Ken Dialari is also a medical doctor now. We're just try and error. We're just testing stuff. So we spent. I believe that we spent a lot of things. But 2018, I met a colleague that really took me on and really helped me a lot. He deepened my knowledge of things. He's from Rwanda. I think he was schooling in Turkey then. So he already had a lot of exposure and was doing great stuff. So I stayed with him from 2018 to 2019. And I really, we still talk, but the talking is what is not like in terms of like the mentor mentee relationship now. But 2018 to 2019 was a time he taught me a lot of things, how to submit paper, different forms of research. You know, he taught me a lot of things. Even though it wasn't easy because obviously it wasn't, but he really did a lot of work, and I think I will forever be grateful for that period in my life. It really helped me. Then moving on from that, by the time I was leaving medical school, I was able to raise awareness of medical students doing research. So our journal club was already forming shape. So we had collaboration with our teachers in school, and they were helpful to take us on, formal mentorship, informal mentorship. We're learning under them, and they were ready. And right now, I think I have a lot of access to different mentors that I ask different questions at different times in terms of career development and also in research. So I would say you need a formal kind of mentorship at some stage, someone that can just sit down with you and really stay there and teach you. Then later on, you now start forming collaboration with some of these bigger people. And when you are collaborating with them, you learn, you see the way they think, you see the way they write, and then you start imitating them. So mentorship has been a big issue for me. But I would say that the challenge with people in looking for mentors is you need to bring something to the table too, really. Yes, yes, people are busy. I realized that before I used to feel like maybe our teachers in school they didn't help us enough, but even now I look back and say they are so busy. So there has to be something that you are going with them. So if you are going to meet them and say, "Oh, sir, I want to do this," at least go with a topic, even though it may not make sense. But if you say, "Oh, sir, I read this and I feel like we can do this," they will be more helpful to refine it for you than saying just going to them and saying, "Sir, I want to do research." That's like you are putting the body
That's
of
so blank.
yeah, so you are putting the body of thinking to them,
Mm.
the modus operandi of the mentorship to them. These are busy people. They are busy advancing their careers. They have families too. And I think that's the issue I have when people message me now too that they want to learn research. And I feel like, what exactly do you
What
want
do
to
you want
learn?
to learn
What do you want to learn? How do you want us
to
to
help
go
you?
about this? Don't give me that thinking for you. What exactly do you want me? Because I'm also at the place where I'm advancing my career. I have exams to write, I have things to do. So you need to go there. And then what can you do too? What
Mm.
can you do? What can you do? Can you submit papers for them? Can you edit works for them? You just have to bring something to the table. Nobody's going to listen to you really without bringing anything to the table. And do your homework, do your thinking when you are approaching people for mentorship. It really is a lot. So if somebody meets me and say, "Oh, okay, I want to learn about how to do a proper literature search. I don't know if you can give me like 30 minutes. Can you give me some materials?" It's better than saying, "I want to learn about research." And that's what I get most always on LinkedIn. And I be like, I'm just like, I can't, where do I want to start? I'm a
Oh
small
my
boy.
God.
I'm struggling with life too. I want to advise. I want to, so I think that's what I would just say around those areas.
Wow, wow. I mean, this is like this, what you just shared now, that's like free wisdom session. Because I said at the beginning that this is going to be so insightful and transformative. Because I agree that like in this age, when people is looking for mentorship, And the reason is because there's so many information out there, and you're trying to figure out, should I step into A, should I step into B, should I step into C, and all of that. So the best guide you can actually still get is via mentorship. But the challenge is just that people just come and they give such a blank statement, I want this. And your mind, you're like, what do you exactly want? So like I hope our listeners actually caught that. Like this is actually a free wisdom session, like I called it, on how to actually secure mentors. And I remember that in the last master class that we ran for research writing, I remember we actually do have people that we selected for mentorship. So this session as well, like in the advanced training that we're going to be having next month as well, we're also going to be giving a few people to have mentorship with Dr. Nicholas Aderinto. So in case you are looking for a mentor to help you in your research journey, you just might have access with for mentorship with Dr. Nicholas Aderinto. But that would be at our advanced training session, and that will come like on the house in that sense because you're already registered for the advanced training. So I agree with you, Dr. Nicholas. Mentorship actually like shortens your wilderness journey. Like for those that might not know what wilderness journey means, it's like the time whereby you spend trying to figure things out on your own. You know, before you figure it out, 5 years might have passed. And then you realize that you were only missing one thing, or maybe just two things. And sometimes by the time you actually catch on of what you've been missing, they might be so basic, so simple. And that's actually where a mentor comes in. So thank you so much for highlighting that, Dr. Nicholas. And I'm quite sure that for those who will register for the advanced class, and I'm sure we even have those on this call who have registered already, they just might be able to have opportunity to receive mentorship from you. All right, so moving on with this session, please just hold on in case you have questions or you have reactions or there is something that Dr. Nicholas is saying that is really like eating you like, yes, 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 that's the thing I've been waiting to hear or waiting to listen to. You can just go ahead and put it in the comments so that we are aware that you are following us, that you are with us, and like you're actually really following the session. So very soon I'm going to come to the part whereby you can ask your questions. This was part of things that we promised you would be able to do during this live session. Okay, so my next question, Dr. Nicholas, is that I understand that they usually say that the journey to the top or the journey to advancement usually comes with down moments. So have there been times whereby you were disappointed? Have there been times whereby you felt like I can't keep doing this? I mean, somebody to have over 300 papers. I mean, that's a lot. That's actually a lot to do research, to study. Like even if it's just to create a literature review, not an actual lab project or an on-site work, takes a lot of demand. And again, you're a medical doctor, so that's like trying to hold on to two very demanding things. So I'm just going to ask her, like, what are the down moments, disappointments, or are there been times where you just feel like I'm just going to leave this thing and I'm not doing it again? Cannot come and die. So I would like to hear that from you.
Okay. Uh, I think at the beginning it was that I was the only one doing that. Uh, every other person around me did not see the bigger picture in it, so it was difficult. Like you can imagine if you are living in an hostel now, or yeah, in an hostel, and you have like five people who are your friends, and you are the only one just doing this thing. The other people just feels like this thing is not really. So some days you tend to ask yourself that is it really? Then at some point too, because obviously I'm a Christian. I think some people just felt like I was just ambitious, like probably I just want to, you know.
Hmm.
There were days that people
Wow.
just felt like he's just ambitious, just want to know himself, you know. Just kind of words sometimes. And then you think deeply and feel like, is it like I'm truly ambitious, or maybe I just want to be proud, or I just want to do things for everybody to really know me. So those kind of words too, you know,
Hmm.
they really press, they really they dig deep into your heart sometimes, and you feel like, God, like, am I really? Is it like I'm just doing this for eye service, or I
Hmm.
want people to know me? So
I
there
self
were days
doubt.
like that. There were comments like that.
Hmm.
Yes, yeah. So and then I met people early too that felt like that called me and felt like why am I doing this? I hope I'm not wasting my time with this research stuff, Yeah, but I had people that I expected, some of my colleagues, some senior colleagues, some people felt like just maybe they were sincerely wrong, really. They just called me out of maybe their genuine care for me, or they just call, what you are doing. Are you sure you are spending your life well? So those were painful moments to start because it feels like probably they didn't see the bigger picture, and then you just have to keep motivating yourself. So those were then not having access to mentors too
Mm.
was really concerning for me. We couldn't. I didn't have access to people that I wanted to have access to then. You know, and it felt like those were bad moments. There were people that I sent emails, sent Instagram DM, Twitter DM, LinkedIn. They didn't respond. And it's
Wow.
okay. I mean, it's okay. It's just part of the journey. So there were people that you feel like they could have helped you, they didn't help. There are people that wanted to help you, but the terms and conditions that they gave were just too inhumane, just shouting on you and things like that. So there are moments like that. Then rejections too. There was a day I was
Mm.
going to work. It was during my internship. I got 5 rejection email that morning. So
Wow.
when I
Wow.
when I got to clinic that day, I was just angry with I was just angry
Oh
with
my God.
everyone. Like worked for so this thing. It was just one email, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't forget those moments. So rejections
Wow.
too, that they are there. And sometimes, you get rejections and you feel like, "Oh, what else could we have done better?" So I would say those were the really, really, really the down moments. Starting out and people feeling like, is it worth it what I was doing? I can still remember some words vividly, in my brain, and
Oh my God.
people calling you,
Wow.
calling you at silence. Are you
Wow.
sure you are doing the right thing with your should you be using your time? But I mean, it's that's how life
Right now it
is.
pays
Not
off.
everybody is going to see the big picture of what right now. I mean, I think everybody is catching the dream
Yeah.
already, that you just need to do this thing. But they were really painful. They were really painful. They were painful times. Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. I guess like most times people don't see the big picture, and then you literally have to push through where everybody is not seeing it. But this is interesting. So now that seems to me that if everybody can embrace learning, research, writing, and publication at their early age, like regardless of your career, like either you're in science or you're in whatever field, like if you can like pay the sacrifice to learn it, to like actually really do it, you might just find yourself being like one of the top leaders or being in the like front seat there in the nearest future. Like that could just really happen. Because I noticed that in other careers, most people just tend to leave the research part for people in academia as like it's your own work, it's your own
Yeah.
work. Why we are not concerned? But the fact is that right now it's not like you're not even in academia at the moment, right? Like you're not in the
Yeah,
academic
no,
space
no,
at the
no,
moment.
no.
You're like
I'm
you're a
I'm still in
doctor.
clinical. I'm in clinical medicine.
Exactly. So it's like so it's that mindset that tends to push people away from actually giving what they need to, like give it all it takes to actually learn research writing, to actually learn publication. Because it looks like it's not for us. It's like they are not talking to us. They're talking to those that want to do PhD, those that want to do masters. That's how it
Yeah,
looks actually. It's like they're talking to them, they're not talking to us. But I actually love how you've been able to actually explain that this thing is for everybody. And just the same way you actually face those like down moments when it looks like not everybody can see the big picture. But right now, I'm so sure that those naysayers at that time, by the time they look at you, and they'll be like, wow, like they will just be wow, 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 wow. So like that
yeah,
just shows like how good it is to actually like really learn and pick up some skills like really, really early. All right, so I still have a few more questions, but like I'm quite sure that our participants actually we have questions for you. So at this point, I would like to take about 2 questions. So if you have a question for Dr. Nicholas, please kindly unmute yourself or drop it in the chat room if you have a question. So please, if you have a question, just drop it in the chat room or unmute yourself and ask. So this session is basically about Dr. Nicholas. We want to learn about his research journey. And Dr. Nicholas was one of our facilitators last year for our master class on research writing and publication. And he will also be with us again next month for the advanced training. So for those who were around during the first session, they can actually give you the testimonials. Like we've already sent a few, you must have seen it on our social media pages. For those who joined the first session, the first cohort, like the testimonials have been mind blowing. We've had someone who was able to complete an entire manuscript just from watching from cohort one. So I'm so optimistic about the second cohort coming up in May, and it's going to be very, very advanced because right now we're going to be teaching about data analysis as well, and also grant writing. So in case you're not aware about that, I'll bring more details when we are about to end the session. So if you have a question, please kindly unmute yourself or you can drop it in the chat room. Anybody with a question? Oh, come on. Okay, we have a comment in the chat room. She said, so inspiring. So Miss Nafisa was with us during our first cohort of this advanced training masterclass. So she was in the first cohort. So now she's saying so many years wasted. Oh well, I don't think you should feel that way. Like the moment for the fact that you're still here, like there is still time to actually make up for the lost years. So this session is actually to inspire us and to like catalyze the transformation in our minds towards research writing. So if you feel like you've wasted time, please just take this as your push to like start, your push to continue, your push to continue like advancing in doing the things that you have to do. Okay, so I have a question here, and I can see Emmanuel's and raised up. So I will take those two. Okay, so Blessing is saying, thank you so much, sir, for the insight so far. I would love to ask, is there a difference between a memorable paper and a publishable paper? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's a difference. There's a paper can look good to you. It can have emotional attachment to it, but it may not be
Exactly.
publishable.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in school. I always tell my juniors that you can be a brilliant student and you can still be failing the exam. There is an act of passing the exam. Yes, there is some acts. There's the way you pass exam, and you can know book. You can be stuffy like we say in medicine. You can still fail exam, but you can. The thing is, you cannot pass exam without being stuffy. That's just the downside. So you can be so attached to a paper. You can feel like it's so good, and when you submit it, they feel like you are just writing rubbish.
Oh my God.
Yes. So yes, I've had a couple of papers like that. In fact, I still had to resubmit the paper last night. It's a paper on the need for stroke guidelines in Africa. All throughout Africa, we don't have African-specific guidelines. That means the way we treat our stroke patients is the way they are doing abroad, which do not take into cognizance our own challenges here. Beautifully put together letter to the editor that I felt like, oh, if I send it out to the Lancet, they are going to embrace it. This is something passionate about Africa. I've sent it to 3 journals and they've rejected it. So
Wow.
there is difference. Yes. So there is a difference. You can get emotionally attached to a paper. You can feel the paper is talking, like saying something that you really want, but a lot of things goes into a paper being publishable. It must meet the journal. There's journal
Hmm.
preference too. There is what a journal is looking for.
Exactly.
Yeah, different journal look for different things. We are going to publish in, let's say, New England Journal of Medicine now. They are more scientifically oriented.
Hmm.
Like they want science. The Lancet want papers around policies and things. So a lot of a lot of small differences goes into publishing. And sometimes getting your paper rejected is not just, the people reviewing can just reject your paper. It's a lot.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I think you just made a point there about that. You need to actually understand the journal before you can think your paper will be accepted. So that's actually a good point. And in our master class, we're also going to be addressing this, how you can select the right journals and to know so that, like, because most times the rejections people experience, you're not supposed to have experienced if you just like follow the instructions, follow the guidelines of the journal. So issues around this, especially like what Miss Blessing asked about memorable and publishable, these are issues around the journal type. So you'll be learning more about this in the advanced master class. All right, Mr. Emmanuel, can we hear from you? You had your hands raised.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very
Good
much to
afternoon.
Nicholas. Whole session.
Dr. Emmanuel is my big chief, so.
Oh, wow.
Chief,
Okay.
it's a privilege to listen to you. Just wanted to ask him two questions. So the first one, how do you get? I understand that you have a lot of waivers for many journals. How do you secure waivers? Personally, early days, or when I started at least, um, writing papers and all of that, I had to pay. There's this particular, colleague of mine that, we do papers together. So I had to pay for us to be able to publish. So how are you able to navigate that, and able to publish, tons of papers without having to pay, like escaping the article publishing charge? All right, that's one question. And then the other one is this paper I was trying to put together. It's talked about exploring the therapeutic advances of regenerative medicine in management of autonomic neuropathy in type 2 diabetes. The paper was rejected because they felt like the field or the topic was kind of primitive, like is it primitive now or primordial? Like, is a new topic that has not been really explored. So I was just wondering,
Yeah.
what one can do about that. Those kind of topics that have not been really explored. Is there a way that paper can still be restructured, and end up getting published? Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I think I will start from the second question. I think for papers like that, it's just good to put them as a perspective paper or an opinion paper. For feed that are just imagine and you don't have enough evidences to back up a lot of things. It's usual, or you just have to probably write a letter to the editor on that feed and feel like there is need for more advancement in this field. So that's what I would say concerning fields like that. Try and just put together a perspective, paper, opinion, or probably a commentary too. Yes, it's usually better like that because you may not have a lot of supporting evidences if you want to probably write a full-fledged review paper like we usually do for other things. Then concerning waivers, yeah, so there are different ways. One, some countries are classified as low-income countries. So Rwanda, I think Rwanda, Cameroon, Niger, and things like that, they are classified as lower income countries. So in the research for life that most of the publishing journals use to give waivers, those countries have 100%. That's what I used to do with that my friend that mentored me 2018, 2019. So he was from Rwanda. So he submits papers for us. So with that, you get 100% waivers from journal. But Nigeria is classified as low middle income country. I don't know who told them that we are low
Don't know
middle.
why.
Low. I don't know why, sincerely, because I believe we are LIC. We are not, but that's where they classify us. So we will just they usually just give 50% on the go. But there are publishers like Springer. If you check, you see that I publish a lot in Springer because getting waivers from Springer is quite easy when you are submitting, they already give you a space to tick. If you need waiver, they are going to send you a link to just fill some spaces, telling them why you need this and this, and they are usually straightforward. For publishers like Esivia, Wiley, if you see me, if I publish there, it's either I collaborate probably with a colleague that is or an institution have some institution, but that's not common in Africa. Though we are still struggling to pay lecturers and all of that, so we don't have money for. But there are colleagues, obviously, probably doing their masters, their PhD, and their school have access to. They have partnership with some of these journals, so we can use that too. Sometimes I publish subscription-based articles. That means the papers are not open access. So these are all of the ways that I've always used over times. And then when I'm collaborating with other people too, these are ways that we've used to really navigate to navigate the issue of financing. But if it's me directly, I usually submit my papers to Springer publishing journal, because that's where I can easily get. But we explore other publishers too when we have all of those, probably someone that is our institution or someone from LICs on the paper. So we explore all of that too. And then I think Egyptian journals too. I think the Egyptian government has a lot of free journals too. The government pays for the article processing fee. So I think you can explore all of this. Yes.
Okay,
Thank you
thank
very
you so
much.
much for that, Dr. Nicholas. I believe that answered your question. Okay, so we have one question here from Oluwadamilola. Now, this question is an interesting one because I believe Dr. Nicholas will just be able to brush through the answer for this question because, like, to fully answer this question, you might actually just need to be in the advanced training. So, this person is asking, thank you for the eye opening session, Chief. Please, what are the skills needed or things to note for someone to have a publish worthy research? So, like I said, this is actually a lot. You might need to be in the master class to get all
Yeah.
you need to learn from this. Okay.
Yeah,
But Dr.
sincerely,
Nicholas will give you some answer. So,
it's a
okay.
lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Starting from the topic itself. The topic. The topic, is it novel enough? Are you not trying to repeat what someone has done? Like, what form of research do you want to do exactly? There are different type of things you want to do. Who are the people you are collaborating with? The resources that you have available, all of these things, the journal preferencing that you are choosing to. So I would say there's a lot, but in terms of what to learn generally, number one, learn what research it itself, learn different forms of research, learn literature, search skill, learn data analysis, learn critical thinking skill, learn basic editorial skills, collaborate with people, be in the right environment. I would say, but for each of those skills, there are some sections, and it's quite a lot to really state, sincerely.
Yeah. Yeah. There's actually a lot. And that was what I was saying to the person that asked that question, that to get comprehensive answer to that, you might need to, you know that you will need to be in the advanced training because the training runs for 2 weeks and then we have two facilitators and Dr. Nicholas will be one of those facilitators as well. So he's going to be sharing about how to understand the different types of research. He will teach on how to even choose a novel research, how to identify a good topic to work on, how to structure your abstract, how to do your literature search, how to do referencing. I mean, everything you need to know as per publish worthy paper is going to be covered by Dr. Nicholas during the advanced masterclass. So the advanced masterclass is holding next month. That's May 5th to May 16th. So that's a 2 weeks comprehensive masterclass on research writing and publication. And we'll be covering everything about research writing. We'll be covering everything about how to choose the right journal, We'll be covering everything about how to secure waivers, like some of the few things that Dr. Nicholas shared right now. You're going to be learning more about like how to approach that. You'll be learning about grant writing because for research you need grants. So Dr. Nicholas is going to be sharing on grant writing. We'll also be talking about how to do your data analysis. We have another facilitator coming up for that. So it's an advanced masterclass and it's one that you really need to be in there. And regardless of your field, either you're in science or you're not in science, like Dr. Nicholas said, this is something that puts you ahead, that like makes you relevant regardless of where you are. Okay, so we have a few more questions here. So we have one from Olajuwon. So Olajuwon first dropped one quite a message, but I'll be going directly to the questions. Okay, so for the questions, Mr. Olajuwon is saying, how do you stay motivated during difficult research projects? That's question one. Question two is, how did your research focus evolve over time? Did you start broadly, and as time went on, did you start limiting yourself to certain topics? Okay, after this, I'll take me. Okay, Chinedu.
Okay, so in terms of staying motivated, well, I would say number one, I have a motivated community. I have motivated friends. What I'm doing is I'm not a special being in the midst of my friends, really, because they are doing. I have friends that they are doing more. They've done more than what I'm doing, so they don't consider me special, and I don't consider myself special amidst them. So it keeps you motivated. Yes, I have friends that are doing bigger things. So you can even, when you see, oh, this guy is, when you talk, you see the level of the ideas, the conversation, the things people are doing. My friends are already participating in big clinical trials, multi-center, multi-country trials. So how do I want to, how would I stay motivated? So some of them are doing big. I have people that are doing big stuff around me. So it gives you, it keeps you motivated. And then they encourage you to. They encourage you. Like I have like my some of my like closest friends. We have a WhatsApp chat every day. We talk. Even as I'm on this stuff now, people have dropped messages just talking about what they are doing in their career generally in terms of research. So it's a push. When someone is down, there's someone doing something that can inspire you. So you need that community. You can't do research alone. You are going to get tired. You get tired. You get tired. So you yes, you need that push. You need that push. Even some people that are not close friends, sometimes you just talk to them and feel like, oh, Andrew, what is happening in Germany? What are you doing? And he's telling you they are doing this work, they are doing that work. You feel like, oh wow, I think I can't sleep this night. I need to get back on. Yeah, so you need I've always emphasized that you need that motivated group of people. Dr. Emmanuel also, we have a large WhatsApp page. People are doing big things, so you can't even afford to not stay motivated. So I would say that has always been for me. And then the bigger picture too. There's a picture of, I don't want to stand like I'm not a motivational speaker. I don't motivate people.
No, motivate us,
Oh,
inspire us.
I don't believe in people that know me knows I don't drop any motivational quote. I don't believe in all of those, I don't, if you want to be
Oh my
inspired, be
God.
inspired. If you don't want to be inspired, I think you are okay. But I believe that I have a big picture for my life. There's a place I want to get to in life at certain age. So that also propels me. I know where I'm coming from, and I know the amount of work I need to put in. I know I don't have some leverages, coming from Nigeria, coming from Ogumosho, going to so we have spent 9 years in school already. So we are already like that's minus 3 years already. So
Wow.
you need to, yeah, that's my six. Medical school was supposed to be 6 years, spend 9 years.
I
So
spent 9 years.
already
Wow.
that's 3 years extra. So in the timeline of things, that's 3 years late already. So that means so I don't consider where I am today. I bless God for it, but I don't see that as, oh, it's so big. I imagine that this was where I thought I would be maybe when I was 3 years younger now. So it keeps you it keeps you focused really to keep going. So I would say those are the two things. One, your own big picture, my own big picture, then two, my community of friends that are doing the same things too.
Okay, okay. So the second question to that is, how did your research focus evolve over time? And like, did you
Okay.
start broadly and did you like narrow down?
Yes, you need to start broadly. You know, I have challenged where with people, some people have not published any paper and they feel like I can only work on oncology papers. I don't want any other. And I'll be like, what you need to learn first is the basics. You need to know how to do research. When you now know how to do research, you now start narrowing down. You start broadly. If they back then, if they say a paper is on public health, you see me there, malaria, I will jump there. I just want to learn. It wasn't so about the the paper itself. It's about you are trying to learn process itself. You know, also if they say public health, you know. If they say oncology, you jump. If they say endocrinology, you jump. You at that phase of just starting out, what you need is that you want to learn. But these days, I see people making that mistake. Then as time went on, as time was going on, obviously, I felt like I've already at least solidified my skills up to a certain extent. Then I started narrowing down. At some point, I thought I thought I was going to focus on neurosurgery, but I felt like I don't think I really like surgery that much. Then I started narrowing down to neurology, neuroscience. Then even in neurology now, I'm starting to narrow down to stroke medicine and open that I'll be able to take a graduate program in that line. So that's how you move. That's how you move. Yeah. And that's how it has been for me. You start broadly, then you start narrowing down. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Dr. Nicholas. That's actually very informative. Okay, so I think we can only take about one or two more questions because Dr. Nicholas has another meeting. So, okay, Mr. Chinedu Okeke, I noticed your hands have been raised, so please go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Nicholas, for your presentation. I really learned a lot. I want to ask, what's the difference between a clear-cut difference in open access paper and closed access? Is there anything that one need to do to have that open access and the rest? Then again, I want to also ask, at times one will try to put in something or to write the manuscript, and probably you want to share it with a friend to help you at least to stay motivated or to do. But most times, some of them don't help, or maybe some of them are busy doing other things that you hardly stay motivated, or probably you start thinking, how can I have a good mentor that will be going through my work? All right, thank you.
Okay, so let me start from that one. I think I always tell people that it's good that you grow together with people rather than trying to jump into circles. What I've seen people do is, I always encourage my junior colleagues in school that if you are in 400 level and there's someone in 500 level doing research, try and join that person in 500 level, learn under him. You can have a mentor that is already a doctor or a professor working, because what someone in 500 level is going to do for you is available, and he has some knowledge that you don't have. You are not going to get that with someone that is not available. So sometimes people just want to join. If someone if a 400 level, 200 level student from my school now meets me now and say, I want you to teach me research, I'll be welcoming. Yes, I'll be welcoming, but I may not be able to have that level of availability. Number one, you may not be seeing me every day in Ogumosho, but if there is someone in 300, 400 level in school doing this thing and you have access to the person, why not learn from the person rather than chasing someone? And I tell our people, we don't have to chase white people. Knowledge is not by color. White people are even coming to chase, people want collaborations even from outside the country. So you don't need to chase the big names. It's not about the popular. It's about much more about the people, someone that is available to you. There are people that have grown together in this area. We've seen us, we know how we started small, how everybody was, going through the rough moment. The chances that if Dr. Emmanuel messages me by a paper now that I'm going to respond to him is higher than if someone that I don't know at all, that we've not grown at all together over the years messages me, and I'm going to reply early. So those are some of the wisdom that I've seen that has helped me over years. I've learned that you can grow with people. Grow with people. If there's that one of your friends as popular as Dr. Nicholas, but if he's also doing this thing and he knows a certain level of it, why not join him? Why you contact Dr. Nicholas, probably some other things that he may not be able to attend to. So I think that's it. That I think for the second part of giving people works and they are not answering you, I think that's where we miss it sometimes. We just want the big people that be doing the big time. Like I said, I made those mistakes too. I messaged a lot of bigger people on Twitter, on LinkedIn. They didn't answer me. Just have to join hands. Let's join hands with people that knows more than me a bit, and they were available, and all of us, everybody grew together, and people are so the chances that if I send a message to them today, they are going to respond now. There are sometimes that my friends will put on their status they are not available, but I know that it's not like if I message you don't answer me now. He's going to answer me. There's no how, even if you put that nobody should call you ahead. If I drop a message to you and say, guy, we need to talk right now. Yeah, so that's how life really works, and that's how research works. Build a team and grow together with them. You guys are going to be able to achieve a lot rather than chasing around big joining big people. Big names all around. It's not going to work. Then in terms of open access and things like that. So when you say open access, you will notice that if you go to some journals, if you click on the paper, you see that they ask you to pay money before you can read the full paper. So those papers are not open access. So all of the other papers that you click on and you can really read, those ones are the ones that are called open access. So most of the journals, what they are trying to do is to make all of their papers open access, but that comes at a cost, and that is the publication cost that we're talking about earlier. Yeah.
Wow. That's another wisdom session. The part about not chasing the big names, like wanting to only relate with those that you think, oh, these are the people that can train you. Like that's another wisdom session. So I really hope our participant paid attention to that. Like because to grow in your research journey, you actually might just need to start from where you are. Look at those around you that can help you, rather than trying to shoot for people that they don't know you from anywhere. Like I mean, these are things that can help reduce rejections, all those emotional traumas and stuff. Sometimes we might not really have to go through them if we just have this wisdom that you just shared. Okay, thank you so much for that, Dr. Nicholas. I don't think I will want to hold you any further, as you mentioned that you have another.
Yes.
So, okay, I would like to read this one out because this person is appreciating you for the session you had with us during the first masterclass. So this is from Imote Peter. I remember it was actually in our first masterclass. So he's sharing here that the previous class really helped him as he was able to complete his undergraduate thesis, and his supervisor was very amazed at how he was able to handle it. So he's giving a big thank you to you, Dr. Nicholas, for the session that you had with us on how to do your literature search, find your topic, and all of that. So yeah, that one is for you. And then we have other people here also thanking you. This from Upong. Sorry if I'm not getting that correctly. So he said, thank you so much, sir. Your works are impressive, and this session was eye-opening for me. Thank you, sir. Okay, so that's the few I would take so that I don't hold you much more. So this is actually a taste bag of it is or an iceberg of what we have coming up in the advanced training. So yeah, we've had Dr. Nicholas share with us about his journey. During the advanced master class that we'll be having in May, Dr. Nicholas is going to be breaking things down, like how do you find your topic? How do you do your abstract? How do you apply for grants? How do you get waiver? And then, like I mentioned, we have another facilitator coming on board who is a lecturer. So that session on the advanced masterclass is not one that you would want to miss. So, and we also have opportunity for mentorship. So in case you actually qualify for that, you might just be having Dr. Nicholas as your mentor, like your research mentor. So that's something to look forward to. But you can only enjoy this for those who are into the advanced masterclass. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Nicholas. I don't know if you have any last words for us before you
Oh,
take your.
thank you very much. Thank you very much, Blessing. I'm sorry I will not be able to go more than this. I have another meeting in 10 minutes.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
also going to
yes.
go and learn under someone bigger than me. So
Okay.
I have a meeting. I have a meeting with one of people I'm learning under too. So I'm also going to learn where I'm going currently now. So, but I just want to encourage everybody. It's always difficult starting out, but you just if you can just, I say I don't motivate people, but I believe that just keep at it. Really, just yeah. I don't. I'm not a motivational speaker at all, but I believe that if you really want it, you can really, and you put in the effort with the right people around you, you will make a head start. I know people that came to me zero publication, like zero. Some of them are going for fellowship now. Some of them are going for PhD programs already this year. So some of them are in residency now. So I know people so I've seen people from zero, grant zero, like
Wow.
grant zero, and they are doing big things in their career now. So it's not something that it's impossible. So I think I'm going to catch everyone at the advanced class. My contacts, my emails are with Blessing and the entire Great Plus team. So anybody that needs to contact me, you are welcome. You can always just bear with me that I may be slow in replying, but I will definitely always reply people's messages. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Nicholas. We have more appreciation coming from the chat room, but I won't want to keep you any longer. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you in the advanced masterclass.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Bye-bye,
Nicholas.
everyone.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. All right, everyone. So this free session was brought to you by Great Plus Africa, and we are an educational and career personality organization. So we help young professionals and students develop their cognitive abilities, and we also help professionals in their career journey. So this training on research, writing, and publication is to help professionals and even students in their career journey. And as Dr. Nicholas has said, regardless of your field, you need to know how to do research. You need to know how to write the research, and you also need to know how to publish it. So we realize it's actually a big deal, especially if you want to like be ahead or like step forward, like own the space like Dr. Nicholas has, that you need to actually master these skills of research writing. And that's why we're bringing this session. So in the first one, like you've seen in the chat room for those who joined the session, as well as from Dr. Nicholas himself, we've had people through learning from the first session, they've been able to submit their work for publication. Somebody was able to do his undergraduate thesis. So even if you have zero knowledge about research writing and publication, I can assure you that once you join the advanced session that is coming up next month, May 5th, you can be so sure that you are going to move from zero to a significant height. And that's only when you join the advanced training. So the advanced training is coming up May 5th. That's about 2 weeks from now. So this webinar is free, is to give you like an iceberg of what is coming up during the advanced session. So we'll be covering about how to do a literature search, how to find a topic, how to identify the different types of research, Sorry about that. My network got disconnected. So yeah, I was saying that you're going to learn beyond just the theory. You're going to be getting hands-on skills in career in research writing and research publication. So we have a early bird offer, and the early bird offer is 20,000 naira for 2 weeks advanced masterclass, and then we have the late bird offer, which is going to start coming up. So you will get details about the masterclass, details about the payment, details about getting access to the early bird offer, because we really like to have you and many other people join. So that's why we put this together, and there is an early bird offer available as soon as you take advantage of it. So more information about this we put in the group chat. So thank you so much everyone for joining. We won't want to keep you here any much longer. We believe you were able to get your questions answered. You were able to learn, like you were inspired to actually start learning. You were inspired to like start taking your research journey serious. And just in case you feel like, oh, you've wasted time, you don't have to feel that way, because Dr. Nicholas started from somewhere. You too, you can start from somewhere, wherever you are. And with mentorship, you will just realize that you are getting it faster and you're achieving it much better. So thank you so much for joining. That would be all for today. See you all in the group chat, and then we'll be sending you more communications about the advanced masterclass. Bye, everyone. Have a good evening and have a good day.